Oi, oi, I survived it. My NICEIC approved contractor assignment went really well, and there's a few changes, and I want to go through a couple of bits and bobs with you, and also I want to answer a few questions that I've received this week on my comments. So give us a minute, roll the beats, and we'll get into it. Oi, oi. Good evening, fellow groove riders. Will from Will's Electrical Services, also known as the Midfield General, in high spirits tonight. My assignment today with the NICEIC went really well. Really enjoyable, to be fair. It's the first time I've met this assessor. You know, he's only been assigned to me for the last couple of years, but last year we had a virtual one where obviously we was over the iPads chatting and all that, which was really interesting. Kind of messed up last year and all, because I actually gave it the large one about one of the circuits, one of the certificates we were looking at. I actually took photos of it on Instagram and all that, so I shot myself in the foot with that, but it went really well. Couple of really interesting things we went through today. We went through everything from social media to all the CPDs, which now is a new thing. Now you have to, as a company, you have to log all your, I always get this one wrong because it is probably the most disappointing, where it's like CPD and all that, is continual personal development and all that. And he was telling me different avenues of places where I can get all the information from. Like they have it on their own, they have the wire, they have, or like obviously eFix obviously do their own. Like you can actually log the amount of hours you do on YouTube, any other courses that you do. And I thought that was quite interesting. I thought that was quite a positive move and all that. And a few other things that we mentioned. Obviously we mentioned about the domestic JRB card, which is a bit, I don't really know. At first when it came out, what I got a little bit annoyed about it is I don't know why we seem to be breaking off. Like, you know, I've got a JRB full card, like approved electrician. I've got all my testing certificates and everything, and I don't really agree with why we should have two. You know, you're an electrician or you're not. You know, that's the way I see it. And I'm not trying to patronise anyone who hasn't got it or all that. It doesn't make you less of a sparks. I've only had my MVQ level 3 for about the last, 6-7 years, you know what I mean? I've done it as a mature one, because you see some of the other things on social media, everyone thinks you have to have a full apprenticeship to receive it. You don't. You just have to complete an MVQ like portfolio, and obviously your AM2, and then, you know, that's how you gain your MVQ level 3. And interesting enough, what he was saying as well, which I didn't know about, is I knew they were retiring the Alexa or whatever it's called from that, but he was saying is that from, I think it's the 1st of December, that if you haven't got your MVQ level 3, you cannot become a qualified supervisor. So obviously if you want to start your own company and all that, you know, unless you've got your own MVQ level 3, then you won't be able to do it. He was saying that anybody who hasn't got it, who's already doing it, will be okay. That's what I believe. You know, which I thought was quite a positive move, you know, like, because should everyone have it? I don't know. Like, you know, I've always thought, because like now I've got my own company, I probably don't need it, but it is quite comforting, because oddly enough, a couple of people have said, are you qualified and all that, and you can show them your card, it's got all your qualifications on there. I don't think there's nothing to hide, but then also what I don't really like about it is that it doesn't get promoted. It doesn't get no support for having it. There's little point of having it. Like, you know, even when I did used to use it, when I used to work on some of the building sites, you'd go there and I'd be the only one with a gold card, or like none of the other trades would just have labourer cards. And it's a bit of a nonsense, but I'll be interested to know if any of your opinions. Before we crack on anymore, and I've finally remembered, if you could do us a massive favour, if you could like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on, because it does something, I don't know what it does, but yeah, if you could do us a massive favour for that. That was enough a good thing, like we was chatting about. What else was there? Obviously there was good things, because we were talking about like car chargers and all that, like all the grants and all that, and like how that's developing over the years, because surely it's going to be a bit like the PVs, like surely at some point they're going to stop doing it because there's going to be so many people and all that. And it's quite interesting that, because we were talking about the deviations and all that, because obviously you get a lot of them with the earth rods and all that, with the matty and all that, and some of them, especially the three-phase ones, have some of the switch gear that that doesn't stand to BS like British safety standards and all that. And I always thought you had to put in the departures, and he explained to me and showed me the correct ways of doing it. It's fascinating really, because there is quite a bit of that where, even though where he showed me it is actually a departure, it's still clarified, you know, it's worded a lot better. But yeah, that was quite interesting. What else was there? We've done the CPD, we've done that social media as well. Like, we're talking about social media, that was a bit embarrassing and all, you know, talking about that, especially when considering that I've got more subscribers, I've got more followers on Instagram and more subscribers on I've got more subscribers on YouTube. That is when you know you've got to go back to that company and say, you've got to try harder, mate, because like everyone in the world, he even said like there's 44,000 people that actually like members, and it's just like, how have you not got a bigger following? Like everyone knows what the NICEIC is, you know. I'm proud as punch to be a part of it, you know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that NICEIC or anyone else is below or anything silly like that. It's just that it just seems really bizarre, like, you know, someone's really messing up with that, and they do get absolutely hammered on social media. And I just think to myself, I don't really get that really, because you know, I will always promote them, and that's why we always have it on our uniforms and all that stuff. That's enough of the bum licking now. What we do is I'll quickly answer a few questions that I got on my YouTube. There's only a few, I've only picked a few of them as well. No skills, cheers Simon, he always comments, have I given up my day job to do a YouTube? No, all it is now, because obviously I've got a lady in the office, I don't have to do so much paperwork. She takes so much work off me. So what I usually tend to do is at the weekends, I'll make 3 or 4 of these. I only try to keep them small to make them a little bit entertaining, because I am pretty boring and all that. So I'll make 3 or 4, and then on the Thursday I'm going to start doing it so I can read out some of the comments. So hopefully that answers you. Paul Cook, is there any YouTube or Instagram faces coming on my channel? Everyone's more than welcome, even if you have got 15 followers or 2,000, as long as you love tools and you're interested and you don't mind showing off your tools. Alex also wishing me luck on my assignment. Obviously I've read that because it's the day, you know, the videos come out the day before. You know, thanks ever so much, I really appreciate that, taking your time to wish me luck. Tony Davis also follows me on Facebook as well, I see that. He's chatting about like the 1741 plus. To be honest, I have usually got the 1720, so I've not really noticed too much difference between them. I've noticed the earth loop impedance is a lot quicker, and but John Ward, is it John Ward? He's got a half-hour video on his YouTube channel about explaining the whole lot, and maybe over the weekend I'll sit down and watch that and see what it's all about. Because one thing I have noticed is what I've got on my 1720 is that it automatically does an earth loop impedance as soon as you put the prongs on the terminals and all that, and me and Ollie both like that, but I don't know how to get it off. So if anyone knows how to get that lock off, that I'd really appreciate that. And the last one before we come to an end is KH86. Thanks for liking my video, but I really appreciate that. And he mentions how to grow your company. To be honest, mate, that is the $1 million question. All I can say, my only advice to anyone is get yourself on social media and get yourself known across the trade, you know, and, you know, start, you know, if you're proud of your work, start posting your work, just get involved, mate, you know what I mean? All my friends around my way, always, every time they see me, they're like, oh look, there's Will from Will's Electrical Services, and you wouldn't know how much that helps, mate, you know what I mean? And obviously if you can afford it, get yourself a website. The more your customers can get to know you and see how you work, the more beneficial. Hopefully this video has helped you in some way. And don't forget, if you're going to be anything this weekend, then be electric. Up the old blues, you know. We're at home to United, I think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.